Hello, my name is Oscar Fire, and welcome to another vlog post. I haven't done one of these in a while, so, well, I think it's about time. I think it's about time I actually did another one. So, yeah, I'm trying to think. Crap, I had everything I wanted to say in mind. I should have written it down because I have a little note, I have a little stenographer's pad here that I can write little notes down that I might actually remember everything I want to do, but I never do that, and then I forget half the things I want to do, and then when I realize I've forgotten them, I suddenly have a panic attack, which is absolutely nice. I do it entirely to myself. So I suppose one of the things I actually probably should bring up first actually is channel updates, because as you may have noticed, as you may have noticed, I have started a new Third Age Total War campaign using yet another submod, Dagor Enor, also known as the Perilicious Compilation mod, or PCP, which is the original name of the mod, which tries to add a lot to Middle Earth. It expands the map, it expands the number of factions considerably. I mean, way over what Divide and Conquer ever has done. And it tries to be like kind of lore accurate. And has like a different pacing in its gameplay. It's a much slower paced. It's a much slower paced. Slower paced, rather slower paced. Submod. And I have been having a blast with it. I took a similar route to it. I just realized I'm kind of running my sentences together right now, but that's the way I speak, so there you go. Anyway, I've been having a blast with it so far, though, and I've only recorded 8 episodes. 6 are up at the time of this recording. But I've been having an absolute blast playing it, though. I decided to take the Divide and Conquer route and play a slightly more obscure faction, the Ordo Carne Dwarves, the Dwarves the East. And it's been a lot of fun so far. It's kind of interesting being in a portion of Middle Earth that we've only ever seen in some of Tolkien's more obscure maps. And it's a lot of fun also playing the Dwarves for the first time, because I've never played the Dwarves before. And it's actually made for a very, very fun experience. I don't know how long this series is going to last, though, because the pacing of the mod is so slow, it actually slows down the rate at which I can put out episodes. I'm 8 episodes in, and I've already gotten 130 turns out of the way. Granted, it's 1,500 turns in total, but I'm playing a short game, so I only need 30 regions, and only need to beat 2 factions. So this series might actually end up being kind of short. I mean, not for me. I'm going to play through the entire bloody thing, and that's going to take as much time as it takes. But at the same time, it's pretty fun, and I hope that you'll check it out if you're a fan of my Third Age. If you're a fan of my Third Age Total War work, my Total War work in general. I just remembered. Oh, I've also played Rise of Three Kingdoms, which incidentally I should point out it reminds me actually somewhat of Rise of Three Kingdoms. It doesn't feel like a clone of Rise of Three Kingdoms or anything, but it's very similar, and I think it's actually kind of beneficial to the. I think it's actually kind of beneficial to the mod. On top of that, what else is there to talk about? I believe that I should mention, incidentally, that I have gotten over 400 subscribers now, but 414 about this point. And remember, in the last blog post, rather, not the last the last blog post, though, I mentioned that I want to reach a summertime goal of 500 subscribers. I'm not there yet, obviously. It's still possible at this point. I'm not sure if it's actually doable, though. I really hope it is, though. Not because I think that that 500 subscribers is in any way like a goal that means something in the strictest sense. Like I'm gonna get some sort of fantastic benefit if I get 500 subscribers. But at the same time, it does mean that I guess it's just an indication that maybe this YouTube channel is ultimately viable. Because I'll be honest right now, I've spent the last 3 or 4 years of my life basically being completely unsure of how to live my life, what to do with my life, what would actually be a worthwhile goal in my life. And while I know that YouTube is not a viable long-term goal, it certainly can. I think that at least a modicum of YouTube success can open new doors, and it can itself be a profitable venture, and can be it's a fun venture, certainly. I think, though, that some part of the funness comes out of being successful, not making money necessarily, but out of getting people to actually watch your videos. And I guess I'm kind of trying to prove that to myself. The idea that hey, Osrin, you can, well, I'll just say, hey, Osei, you, my actual name. That'd be nice. I don't refer to myself as my gaming pseudonym. No. No, okay, maybe that's not entirely true. I do refer to myself as Lisha periodically. But I digress. Yeah, but it's like, hey, Osei, you know, it's like, maybe this is something you can actually do with your life. Something, not, you know, something you can, at least short-term, use to learn things and meet new people and, you know, take a hobby which basically is a giant waste of time. I mean, for being honest, you know, video games, well, we certainly get a lot of enjoyment out of them. It's kind of like television and any other kind of entertainment. You know, we don't, it's not like a, it's like a super serious thing that you do for the rest of your life. It's not, you know, it's certainly not something where you get a lot of productive value out of it, you know. I mean, you get a lot of value out of it, certainly when you, like, you know, when you get the games that have, like, good gameplay and you have a lot of fun with them, you meet new people, multiplayer, or you get a good story, good characters, and so forth. I mean, you get a lot of fulfillment out of that, but it's like, it takes up a lot of time that, you know, on a certain level, I think we all think, you know, like, we're like, you know, I really am wasting a lot of time doing this, though. Like, I could do something more useful with my life. And I think that's part of the reason I started, another one of those reasons I started this channel, is that I'm doing something that's basically a hobby that really doesn't benefit me outside of itself, and trying to make something more of it, and that's kind of why I'm doing this. I kind of want to prove to myself, hey, this actually is a worthwhile venture in the end. So, if you guys can, you know, if you guys can give me a hand, you know, share the channel, and share, you know, just, you know, the people around you, you know, who enjoy this sort of, you know, who enjoy the sort of, you know, who enjoy the content I put out, not just the Total War, but, you know, also the other stuff, the Left 4 Dead and Never Done, you know, that one-off Long Live the Queen episode, because certainly listening to me try to do a girl's voice has got to be hilarious. Because while I do have a high-pitched voice, and my natural speaking voice is high-pitched, it's not girl high-pitched. It cracks, but it's not girl high-pitched. You know, so any help on that front is greatly appreciated. I feel like there's something else I wanted to talk about, though. Let me try to think about that. Ah, yes, of course. 2 more things. I finally remembered. It took me... I literally just sat here for like 30 seconds like, what did I want to talk about? Why don't I write these things down? But the first thing I want to talk about is that... Extra Life 2015. I don't talk about that nearly enough on this channel either. I mentioned it at the in every outro for my video, but videos, plural. This is actually going to segue into another spot of news. But, basically, my Extra Life team, and then the link will be in the description below again. My Extra Life team has now managed to raise over $1,000, and we're still a few months out from game day, which is going to be in November. I think November 6th. You know, where gamers, gamers across the United States, and probably some around the world, will be playing games for charity, the Children's Miracle Network Cosmos, because, you know, I think that's a pretty cool thing to do. I think that a lot of gamers, you know, I think. A lot of what I was just talking about, you know, regarding whether or not gaming is actually a useful way to spend one's time. This is a good, this charity is a very excellent way to actually spend one's time when it comes to video games, because you can raise money for sick kids. And again, I'm participating this year. Our team has raised over $1,000. Extra Life as a whole has raised over $500,000 already, and it didn't it was it was like maybe last September where they reached that point last year. So that's really cool, because it means that the potential for Extra Life to raise money this year is much greater than it was last year, because the real fundraising spike comes, you know, like kind of in the fall when, you know, the push to November starts coming up. And, you know, it's like the fact we reached $500,000 already actually is really, really, really impressive and really cool. And I hope you guys will check it out as well. I hope you guys will donate. I have yet to raise any money personally outside of a little donation I gave when I first signed up. So, you know, anything you guys can do to help would be like the coolest thing. And speaking of related news, I was also going to mention, because when game day comes up, I'm obviously going to be doing a live stream. I'm not going to do a full 24-hour live stream, but I'm going to do a bit of a gaming marathon though, and try to see if I can't raise a little money on my own. But in the meantime, I'm probably not going to be doing many live streams from between then and now, because In addition to the fact I'm just terrible at promoting it right now, I also just, in general, even when I, even with a little promotion I do, the promotion I do, though, is, I just don't get that many viewers to begin with, and I don't think it's really worth my time to do live streams at this point. So if you did check out my live streams, I appreciate it. But for the time being, I think I'm gonna stick to like pre-recordings and rely on those because they're a little easier to edit because they're usually a little shorter. And it's also easier to get the sound balance done because I've been recording, not in this video, but I'm recording my audio separately using Audacity from the rest of my audio recordings. So it helps to, so I can balance my sound better. And I kind of want to get good at that before I get back into live streaming and trying to make highlights out of live streams. Because once I'm comfortable like making sound balance, I think that'll be a little easier for me to also to like kind of edit the audio on trying to edit the audio on brain fart. Edit the audio in the wow, really? This is what my brain goes out on. Not any. I should be glad because usually the brain farts on the important stuff. I think I'll have an easier time editing like live stream audio where my voice and the voice of whoever's with me gets meshed together. So, hey, and that brings me up to my final point. I don't know if I'm playing any music in this blog post. Probably, hopefully it's some overclocked remix music because I remember I promoted that last time blog post because I think that video game music is so cool because it's very different video game music really. It's very different from like regular music because it has to be looped and it has to it has to fit like certain situations and everything. And I really love game music. That's why I do the blog. It should be linked down below as well. That's why I do my video game blog, where I've been showcasing for like the past half year or so, music for for the better part of a year now, actually. But music for Final Fantasy XI, though, because I feel like Final Fantasy XI is one of those those dark horse games. It's part of the main Final Fantasy series, but because it was an MMO, people kind of overlooked it. But it has an absolutely phenomenal soundtrack, especially some of its later expansions, and I've been trying to showcase that, and I kind of just want to encourage you guys again, like I always do, to kind of check that out. Because I feel like people miss out a lot if they're not, I feel like if people aren't listening to good music, they're missing out on a lot. And I really want you guys to check it out yourselves. Like give it a listen. There's a lot of the music actually like stands up on its own if you give it a chance. And yeah, there you go. So that's been this vlog post. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually didn't stutter as much as I usually want to, and it's managed to be kind of long, which is doubly unusual. Without stuttering, I mean. You don't know how. In the previous vlog post, you don't know how much I kind of cut out because I was losing my train of thought or because my tongue decided to refuse to work. Refuse to stop working. That's not making any sense. It's a double negative. Anyway, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this vlog post. If you want to see me do more of these, do let me know. I feel like I should do more. I don't know if you guys are really interested in seeing my face and hearing my voice and maybe, listen to how terribly I overlay music, because it's too loud or just my voice or something. But if you guys want to see more vlog posts, I'll try to come up with more. I'll try to come up with more to talk about. Because I don't mind doing these either. It's a nice change of pace when doing YouTube. So, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you next time. When I don't know, I play something. Third Age Total War, probably. Carnage Dwarves, or the Kingdom of Arnor, because I'm not done with that either. Anyway, until next time, everybody.